Now when Jesus saw great multitudes about him, he gave commandment to depart unto the other side. A man ought to withdraw himself from the world, though his piety be ever so much proof against temptation. A pastor, how necessary soever he may be to his people, ought to retire from them for a while, when he finds the crowd and noise of the world prejudicial to his soul. And a certain scribe came and said unto him, Master, I will follow thee whithersoever thou goest. The presumptuous person fancies himself capable of everything. As to ordinary duties, the call of the gospel is sufficient. As to designs of perfection, we must wait until God calls us. To anticipate the call of God is to prevent his grace, and miserable is he who pretends to walk without it. It is not sufficient that the desires be good, they must also be regular. And Jesus saith unto him, The foxes have holes, and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man hath not where to lay his head. It is very just and reasonable to worship Christ even under this destitution of all the conveniences of life, to undergo the want of some of them, thereby to honor and imitate him, and to beg of him the spirit and the grace to do it. What poor man is not comforted when he casts his eyes upon this adorable pattern? What rich man is not confounded when he sees himself so unlike and at such a distance from it? What shame must those nice and delicate persons hence receive, who are always ill at ease, and who exhaust their wit in daily inventing some new gratifications? Let us adore the Son of God, debased so low as to take upon him human nature in the incarnation, and in some matter more destitute of the conveniences of life than the very beasts themselves. Whoever designs to follow Christ in order to make his fortune in the world does not seek him, but the world and its fortune. A man must disengage himself from everything if he would truly serve God, by following Jesus Christ in the sacred ministry, or otherwise. And another of his disciples said unto him, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father. The voice of God must be obeyed without delay. The children of Adam are always in extremes. Either they will anticipate God like the scribe, or they will not follow him immediately like this disciple. The mean between both is to wait until he speaks, and not to defer following him one moment when he has spoken. Men never want pious pretenses when they have neither resolution enough to enter into the way which God points out, nor humility enough to acknowledge their own weakness. But Jesus said unto him, Follow me, and let the dead bury their dead. How difficult is it to forsake the world? Always some secular tie remains those whom God calls to retirement. All human respects, all regard to the duties of civil life must be laid aside when our salvation is in question. All other care may be supplied by some other person. The care of saving our soul is our own personal affair. A man is dead when he lives not according to faith, which is the life of the soul. He who is called to follow Christ in the way of perfection ought to fear the world and the conversation of worldly people as much as we generally fear the apparition of a dead man or the infection of a burying place.